man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy, 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
The players are going to vote to play because guess what players do, Darren? They play, and they want to play. But in the end, the owners are going to kibosh it because it's going to cost them too much money. So it's going to be on the owners. That's my prediction. We're going to get this baton really far in the relay race, and then it's going to be dropped near the finish line. That's my prediction on this.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Good morning, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show. We're coming in hot. Episode number 449 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. Rod here and Darren Moose Dupont over there. Good morning, Moose.
Good morning.
Long time no see.
Yeah, 12 hours.
Something like that.
Less.
Calling hockey last night. I see the comments are coming in from Larry Dye in Medicine Hat to Rod, the best radio football announcer. Wow. Nice way to start. Flattery will get you everywhere.
Yeah, well.
Thank you, Larry. Much appreciated. I know that there's a lot of footballers tuned in today for our opinion on the news that dropped last night from TSN's Dave Naylor, so we're going to get to that. Forgive me, I'm just opening windows as we go here. It's just great timing here in that Don Unamba will be joining us from the Ottawa Red Blacks. The president, Don Unamba, will be with us. Current linebacker and coach in the fan-controlled football league. That's going to be fantastic.
That's cool.
And Phil Andrews, the voice of the Regina Pats. So I'm going to have to ask you to hang around because Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg's watching on YouTube, and he says, sure enjoyed snippets of Rod's call on Access Twitter feed. Can we talk about the Pats ice game? Can you hang on, Patrolman Pete, like an hour? Because we're not going to talk about that right out of the jump. Because we have things to get to here in the Quick Six show topics. So please hit that, Director Jim. I should have been more ready for this, but that's fine. I'm just going to paraphrase here off the top. Topic number one. These, of course, are of importance to me, my top six. And I think, Darren, we're going to spend the whole warm-up here on the first 2 points, and that's all.
Good.
Okay? So number one, Was walking out of the Brandt Center last night, the home of the WHL East Hub, when I saw the report from Dave Naylor from TSN that the CFL owners have proposed 20% pay cuts to the players in the event they have to kick off the season without fans. Full disclosure, the very first thing I thought was, they're going to play. Right? That's the first thing I thought of. It was positive because we all want the CFL to play. That's that. As I was walking to my car with Moose, different cars, same parking lot, I texted an agent and I said, what's your take on this news? By the time I got home, I had a response and I have it here. So I tweeted just a small portion of what his response was. I'll give you the whole thing right now. Unnamed agent just said, just the fact that they are spending at the floor to balance out for all these things like no fans and then now propose another 20% makes it tough for the players. For most guys, that will be a 30 to 40% pay cut to play football and risk their bodies. That's a tough ask. And he goes on to say, well, the president's coaches and front office staffs also take another 20%. I wonder if that's in the proposal. So that's the take from an agent. The players, not all of them, but a lot of them are being very vocal on Twitter about this latest pay cut. And it's caused a lot of discussion here. People are saying, well, the coaches already took a pay cut and all this. No, you're not getting it. But the players and the agents are saying, we already took one. Now you're asking us to take another? That's their side, and I'm pro-player, but I also understand this, and I know you're going to have thoughts, and I want to hear from the viewers, too. You know, the big Rush fan in Saskatoon, Travis Pilon, tweeted last night. He's like, I can't wait to hear what Rod has to say about this tomorrow morning, which is perfect. Thank you for that. But I might surprise you a little bit. Nobody wants to take a pay cut, particularly 30 to 40%. Who would want to do that? But from the other side, life is about choices. And sooner or later, people are going to realize, just myself, I could be working at an all-sports radio station now with my own show, making a fraction of what I'm making now. I don't want to do that. I made that choice. These players are going to have to make the choice. Do you want to play football or not? And if you do, you're going to have to pick up a second job. You're going to have to push off those family plans. That's what things are getting real. So I'm not on the owner's side, but I wondered where the money would come from to play because I knew there was no money. And all of a sudden it's ding, this is it. This is it. They need to play to get the TSN money. TSN's going to pay them $5.5-ish million per team. Well, if they trim salaries by, on average, 33%, that gives them close to $2 million in wiggle room extra. There's your money. So it comes off the heads of the players. Again, so the players have the choice here whether to play or not and accept the terms. In the end, they're going to. They always grumble, but they always do. They always do. I don't like the direction of the CFL. I would have liked to have seen them go out and raise sponsorship by 200%. What does Paul say around here? You know, one of the owners of this show. Oh, we have this issue financially? Sell more. And then we do. Grow our business. Maybe it's in other areas in this building. That's what I would have preferred the CFL had done. Raise sponsorship. Don't take it out on your workers. But that seems to be a very popular notion in sports these days. So that's my take. Like it or lump it, you're going to have disgruntled players taking to the field this year. But if they can figure out a way, health-wise, to get on the field, they're going to play. And this is how. And TSN's the ones that are providing the money. But I'll just say this. I'm still not convinced that they're going to play only because of my health people have informed me that the variant is outpacing vaccinations in this country considerably. So we're not out of the woods. As a matter of fact, we're going into lockdown here in the sweatpants capital shortly. So there is my take. And I got more, but you're the co-host. So what do you think about this?
Keep rolling. I mean, my first thought was the same as yours, right? Oh, my God, they're going to play.
Right.
This is positive because we've never seen a solution on the table. And at least if they don't play, then at least there was an offered, a tabled solution, right? This is how we can get on the field. This is we've done all this work, and if they take 20%, we can get on the field on time. That's exciting. Whether they take it or not, that's a different story. They might decide they don't want to. But you're right. Football players want to play, and there's enough of them that they likely will. There's talk then about as fans come back into the stands, the players would get topped up, right? I don't know that means that they'll get back pay for the 20% they missed in the beginning.
Which is what the NHL's doing.
I imagine it's, okay, as more fans come in, now you're only taking a 15%. Now you're only taking 10% haircut on your game checks. Now you're back up to what your game check should be. I don't think you're going to get an increase to make up for the 20% pay cut. I just don't know if that's in the cards. I hope it is, but it is exciting. It is unfortunate for the players. I hope the team executives, the coaching staffs, and everybody across the league is taking the pay cut as well to help pay for it. And it's not just the players. Like, I hope all the executives aren't still taking their normal wage, and all of the employees and everybody. I hope it's a collective effort that, look, we're all taking a little bit of a pay cut here, but we're all going to still be able to make somewhat of a living. We're going to be able to play football and save the league. So I think it's tremendously optimistic and positive, but I completely understand the players' frustration.
I said when we were leaving the building yesterday that I'm tired of having to say I don't know or having the questions posed to me in the case of this agent who said, are the coaches, front office, and presidents going to take a pay cut? I don't know. So that is a question I would like to see the leaders of the Canadian Football League answer. But the way this is moving with this news in the last 12, 13, 14 hours, it's positive to get on the field. It's not positive if you're a CFL player, because who would want to take those pay cuts, particularly if others aren't in the building? And people are saying, well, the coaches already did. The agent shouldn't have mentioned the coaches because they are coaches and players kind of all in it together.
Right.
He should have mentioned the business people, but I was just quoting him. That's all. From Ryan McCarthy, he's watching. He is from the No Credentials Required podcast in Albany, New York. He said, here's my question. What percentage of fans will be allowed in CFL stadiums? 10%, 20%? Are they going to require proof of vaccination or, like in New York, a negative COVID test 2 days before the game? Again, questions I can't answer. Questions as we sit here today on March 24th. How can we predict what's going to happen in June? There's no way. Our premier, whom I love, he's become a personal friend, Scott Moe, said just a few weeks ago, hang tight. We're almost at the end of this. Just let's keep it together on the lockdowns, the restrictions right now. We're almost at the end. All of a sudden, boom, whack. We're heading into complete lockdown. SJHL cancels its season. That's not his fault. He's going with the information from the health people who clearly can't predict where this is going either. So maybe that's a rhetorical question from you, Ryan, but it's one that nobody can answer. James Henderson in Borden, Manitoba says either take a pay cut or retire. That's their option. Or go play in another league, fan-controlled football or something like that. I mean, as far as a rookie, $62,000 a year Canadian-ish. You want to lop 20% off that. That's $12,000 off. So $50,000 with the exchange. We're at $77 US now. If you're an American, you're probably better off to find somewhere to play in America. But every player will make their own decision on that. Because believe me, I'm talking to scouts every day in the Canadian Football League. They're like, we just need to play. That's it. Getting players, not a problem. There are thousands that will play for free. For free for the shot to get to the National Football League. So what are you chuckling at, Moose?
Monty's concerned for you.
Why?
Rod, you hit yourself.
I'm okay.
But
I've been hit far harder than that.
I think you're fine.
Rob Williamson watching on Facebook says, let's get this CFL season going. The biggest thing that would help the CFL is to put all its energy getting back onto the field. Yes. And I think it was the gentleman from Manitoba who said you can't sponsor a league that's not playing. Well, I didn't know how they were going to play. Right? So when I said, you presidents that are saying that you're optimistic, why are you optimistic? Where's the details? Well, thanks to Dave Naylor, I didn't know you were going to cut players' wages by 30 to 40%. Well, now that makes sense. I didn't know that. So thanks to Naylor, because somebody needs to report what's going on in this league. And this is what's going on in this league. From Cody Fajardo Collectors on YouTube says, I am your biggest fan ever. Well, thank you. I appreciate the support. We got to move on to point two. I have a feeling we'll come back on this, particularly with Don Unamba. Tim Peel fired, I guess, by the National Hockey League. The NHL announcing this morning that he will no longer officiate games. He was supposed to retire in April. I mean, come on. This was blowing up our phones last night while we were broadcasting a major junior game, Darren and I. So he got caught on an open mic admitting an even up call. I'm blown away by the reaction. Greg Wyszynski, what's he running now?
Yeah.
Puck Daddy, Puck something. He says, this is the first time he's ever done it and he got caught. You, sir, shouldn't be covering hockey if you don't understand how it works. We've known since we started playing the game and working in the game that this happens. And furthermore, we don't even have a problem with it. When you get a penalty against you, or we're calling a game and there's a penalty against your team, it's like, it's a makeup call. You don't even have a problem with it. And I don't even need to research this. You go back and look at the score sheets of all the games in all the leagues last night and show me a game where the power plays weren't within 1 or 2 of each other. They always try to make it even. We don't have a problem with that. All the players know, the coaches know. If the fans and media don't know, shame on you. You should know that. I saw Matthew Barnaby tweeting this morning. This has been a part of hockey as long as there's been hockey. How do you fire a guy? This is another incident of an institution, in this case the National Hockey League, not standing up for their guy. It would be nice if somebody said, Tim Peel got caught on an open mic, but this is the way it works. I'm stunned they would fire the guy. And after, as I saw this morning, 1,354 games in the National Hockey League and how many All-Star games and Stanley Cup playoff games, Tim Peel's being fired this way because nobody will have his back on something that is a cornerstone of hockey that we all know and don't even have a problem with? This is astounding to me today. Over to you.
Yeah, really. And it's important to distinguish what the referee's job is. And I really believe the referee's job is not to call the rule book. The referee's job is to manage the game and keep the game fair. And fair doesn't mean even. Doesn't mean that the penalties have to be even and that's going to be fair.
Kind of.
It's about making sure that, one team's not getting an advantage, they're not cheating, right? And managing the game. And I know this. I've talked to officials. And let's take it the NHL level. Let's just because he's a pest, super pest, Brad Marchand. If he comes down the ice, somebody's stick and fracting him, and he dives, and he draws the penalty. Great job by Marchand. But those referees see that on film, and they talk to each other like, he's making us look bad because we're calling all these penalties, but he's diving. So the next time that there's an actual penalty against Marchand, they're not going to call it. Because he's made him look bad.
We all know that.
It's managing the game, right? It's managing the game.
Can I interject with some viewer comments here? Matt Decker, Airdrie, Alberta kid, watching on Facebook, says, you would think he was fixing a game the way the NHL reacted. Very good point there. Is that what they're afraid of? But can we at least realize he's not? This is the way the game of hockey's been officiated for 100 years? Don in Central Ontario, where did his comment go? He goes, even up calls are like cheating in baseball. It happens. James in Manitoba said, this is new. Here it is. It's new news to Americans that don't understand this happens in hockey. Let me come back on that. Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg says, this is like when I was 9 and found out that pro wrestling was scripted. You're not serious about that, are you, in Winnipeg? I just said the other day how much you guys know hockey out there. We don't have a problem with even up calls. You don't even see people argue it. You don't even see coaches argue it. They know that it happens. It's like, we were going to get one somewhere along the line here because they owed us one, which is exactly what Tim Peel said on the mic yesterday. I'm astounded. Has sports changed this much? I'm not sure. Kent Ridley
I don't know.
Is watching in Nashville. Says, good morning, you people. To whom are you referring? Canadians? Anyways, I only got to 2 points.
As you said you would?
Yeah. So we're going to settle into this CFL stuff with Don Unamba, the Red Blacks, coming up after the break. The warm-up is brought to you, as always, by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home of the NHL, UFC, and Regina Pats hockey on their multiple big screens. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk streaming at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-14.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Just ahead of the president, Don Unamba going to join us from the great state. Just on the Tim Peel stuff, the NHL referee fired this morning by the NHL for being caught being guilty of a makeup call. Watching in Toledo right now, my friend Mick Gonzalez from ESPN Radio Toledo says, so I'm supposed to believe now that there's no makeup calls in hockey? This from a league that called a penalty for an infraction and for diving on the same play? That happens all the time, too. From Glenn Erickson from Dub Network. He's watching in Medicine Hat. NHL overreaction just as a complete joke. How does the league intend to replace an official with more than 1,300 games experience? And from Nelson Vo, our content creator watching in Saskabush, he says, when sports are trying to lean into single game betting, you just can't have a ref getting caught on a hot mic saying that stuff. We all know what happens. Just can't be caught on a hot mic. Then get rid of the mics at ice level. You're not going to change the game in the way it's been officiated for 100 years because of betting, are you? Man, it's Twilight Zone time in sports, I'm telling you. Maybe Don Unamba can make sense of it. Let's bring in the president, former Saskatchewan Rough Rider, Edmonton Eskimo, now Ottawa Red Black, and fan control football coach. How you doing, Don?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Good. People are fired up today. It's over a few things in Canada. One, this officiating thing. And now, if you don't mind me asking, the latest that the CFL players are being asked to take a 20% pay cut if there are no fans at the start of this season. What are you and your fellows saying about this?
I just got the news about it and just started hearing about it, so I haven't had a chance to talk to anyone about it. I've been sitting here thinking about it myself, and I wouldn't think that it would be a good idea. I mean, a lot of players lost a lot of money last year and coming to this year with new contracts and stuff. So another cut would be devastating to a lot of players and their families.
So, yeah, there's your thoughts right there. There's a quote. So are you just kind of going to sift into this and figure it out a little bit before you make a plan for 2021, I guess? Like you're kind of saying you don't know enough about it just yet?
Yeah, I don't know enough about it just yet to, make comments, about it. But I'm definitely going to look into it after this and see what's going on more in depth.
Okay, well, I hope for the best for you, and I hope to see you on the field. I hope to see all the CFLers on the field here in 2021. But listen, as you know, this isn't why we brought you on. The Fan Control Football League had its People's Championship the other night. You got through the season, Don. Yeah, so thanks to you for cluing us in that this was going down, and then I fell headfirst in it. I loved Fan Control Football. You're a coach.
Yeah.
Tell us how it went.
It was exciting. It was different. Really, you got to see a real life video game, and I got the inside scoop on a lot of stuff.
Well, take us from opening training camp, how you got involved, because I don't even think we had you on. We had Patrick D as one of the co-founders, and just how it went, because I think we're all very curious.
All right. Well, I actually got involved because a lot of people don't know this, but 4 years ago, I actually was a part of this league that tried to do this. We was in the IFL with the Screaming Eagles, and it was fan control with the fans actually calling the plays. So with everything, with the downtime that I had, with everything being canceled in the CFL, I stayed in contact with Ray Austin, the commissioner with the Fan Control Football League. And we talked about different things and with our season going on. And I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to come in and do some coaching. So if I want to do it further on in my career, that I have that coaching experience there. So, we had a couple of talks, and he actually got me hired on as one of the defensive backs coaches with the league. And I got the phone call one day to come in, and it found out that we was going to be in a bubble in Atlanta, Georgia, where we actually came in, had to take past 3 negative COVID tests in the bubble before you was able to get out, get with the teams and practice. And all players, staff, and everyone in the bubble had to do that.
And keep going. So then you got through that. You passed all your tests, and you started playing. Yeah, go ahead.
So, then we started playing. Training camp went for a couple weeks, made a couple cuts here and there, a couple adjustments. And then we got rolling right into the games. It was 4 teams, the Wild Aces, the Zappers, the Beasts, and the Glacier Boys. And then, we had, unique rules, starting with the coin toss. We had the paper, scissors, rock instead of the usual coin flip. We had, obviously the fans calling the plays. We had one-on-ones instead of field goals. We had, for pat attempts, we had one-on-ones, receivers versus D-back. We had a draft every Wednesday where you actually drafted new players every week. So if a player had a really good game in the first week and you wanted him in his team, then a lot of the fans would make sure that they drafted that player to their team. Following a draft, we also had a one-on-one skills competition where players got a chance to win for their team, different power-ups, where you would use those in the games to kind of bring the video aspect of it. Something that we had in the game was like for a defense, they was offensive power-ups. you could take a player off the field and play with. So it was 7-on-7. So you literally had opportunity where you could take a player off of defense and play 6-on-7 until that offense got a first down, and then they bring that player back. We had another power up with a 5th down. So if you didn't get a first down on 4th down, use your power up as the fans, and you would get one more opportunity to get that first down or the 5th down play. And also another one on defense. Yeah, it was a lot, man. And another one on defense was if you lost in the pad attempt, let's say that defensive back lost, you could throw your flag and use another attempt to where he could go again and give a chance, give that team another chance to defend it and stop the extra point attempt.
It was unbelievable.
So it was a lot going on.
Yeah, and because of you.
Yeah, it was exciting. Right?
Because of you and Khalil Carter, who I talked to, Coach Carter, and, of course, John Jenkins, I watched every week, and I saw the viewership climb. Every single week the viewership went up, so people were loving what you were doing. But, Don, you have to admit, people said to me, Rod, how would you describe it? Like, not everybody has Twitch. I said it's like Arena Football League meets WWE.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I think that's what they wanted to do, though. I don't think they was trying to have the same game as Arena. They wasn't trying to be NFL nor compete with NFL. They wasn't trying to be CFL. They actually were their own thing, and I got it. It was an entertainment industry, and that's what they got.
They did, and I also watched the games where they brought Joe Montana in to do color, and Marshawn Lynch is an owner, but he threatened to play one night. He never actually saw the field, though, did he? Like, he tried to put his gear on, but they wouldn't let him. What happened with Marshawn Lynch?
He actually came. He did a bunch of commentary stuff and was clowning. Right before the game, he put his pads on and wanted to play. And I think he got into it with one of the players. It was a friendly battle. They was talking, but I don't know what actually ended up happening, why he didn't end up playing. But I know at the end he was just he was going to let the young guys get their reps because there's only so many reps you could get in the time frame that we had in the game. So he just let them do their thing. But it would have been cool to actually see him go out there and run the ball a couple times.
Maybe next year. So, Don, we got some viewer comments here. Well, for one, Nick Lewis is watching. Is your nickname the Mule?
Okay. No, it's not the Mule. I'm the president.
That's what I thought.
No, but he went to. No, Nick Lewis went to. He went to Southern Arkansas. We went to the same college, so that's kind of our hashtag at the school. The Mule. We the Mule Riders.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, there you go. So now
he's just showing love. He's showing love.
Thick Nick's watching. There you go. Jamie Neugebauer says, so much to keep track of. One of our viewers, Nugsy. If you watch it, it makes sense. To hear it, if you were to read the rules, you'd get a headache. But to go out and play it, it actually isn't that wild. Jason in Red Deer says, WTF? This fan-controlled stuff sounds amazing. It is amazing. I was trying to tell people for weeks. Now it's over for the year, by the way, people. They already had the championship, the People's Championship. Chris Bird in Toronto says, I didn't watch any games. Do the fans get to make any on-field calls? Chris, they get to make all of them. And, Don, I got to tell you, that's the only problem I had. There was a minute between plays. They never figured out how to get the plays in quicker.
And, this was the inaugural season, so I'm sure they're going to try to, fix it to where it's, it's better, ran better, and we can get those plays out faster. I mean, obviously you're going to have some kinks anytime you do something for the first time. So, I mean, it was good for the first time, so hopefully they get that better.
It was all great. I just figured from week 1 to week 4 or 5, they would have figured out a way in this technological world. But hey, listen, I'm in. I'm hooked. You said it yourself. It's about entertainment. The football was pretty good. But I got to ask you, what was it like with Johnny Manziel, and then in the late stages, Josh Gordon playing? What were they like to deal with? How much did it help the league in your mind?
That was cool, man. I mean, Johnny came in, really positive, giving energy to those guys. A lot of those guys, some of them had no pro experience. Some maybe had very little. So for a guy to come in like Johnny was, it was a good feeling for those guys. They got to play with, probably one of their, super fan, being a super fan or something like that. And, he came in very positive and knowing that he was going to bring, more eyes to the Fan Control Football League, and he did exactly that. Later on, adding Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon also came in very humble, wanted to have fun and just play football. I talked to Johnny when he first got there, and that was his thing. He was like, he just got to play football like he was a little kid again. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the media. He just wanted to have fun. He was at home in, I think, Phoenix, Arizona, as he said, and he just came out having fun with the guys and, doing what he loved.
Did you have fun, Don?
Yeah, I did have fun, man. Like I said, I was at home just training and chilling out in Dallas. So to actually get around football again, even though I wasn't playing, and give advice to those young guys and, give them knowledge of the game, especially being out actually, when I seen those kids, I was one of them before. And down that path, down my road in my career, actually being there and then being where I'm at now and excelling in the CFL was a good experience. And those guys looked up to me. They listened. They showed me nothing to respect when I actually was coaching my peers. So it was an experience.
Good for you. Well, that's the thing with Drew Tate. I mean, he's going to coach forever, and probably you will too when you're done playing. And hopefully that's not for a while. But the players in the Fan Control Football League did look very young. They were very fresh. Very similar, I thought, to the Spring League. Was it a lot of the same players?
Mm-hmm. I think we did have some players from the Spring League in there. So it was a mixture from all over the place. There's guys who's fresh out of college that was there. There's guys that's draft eligible there, just coming to get some film, keeping their name out there, that missed pro days. We didn't have the combine this year. They're not having it. So it was guys actually, really trying to get some looks and keeping things on their mind with this COVID going on.
John,
so there were some young guys out there.
Sorry, Don. John O'Flynn in North Vancouver says, fan-controlled football, what a journey. Coach Unamba was a great presence. Super experience for the fan. A lot of questions are coming in, Don. I'm just going to give you one more, then I have one last one. From Noogsy, he said, was it frustrating as a defensive guy at all with a game that is tinkered to be pretty geared towards offense? How did you notice that?
Oh, man. That's funny that he noticed that. But, yeah, it definitely was frustrating at times. A lot of times, actually, it was handicapped a little bit. But, man, we just have to make adjustments, man. If you play defense and you know anything about defense, you have to make adjustments and make plays and find ways to make plays. So we adjusted. A lot of guys out there made plays defensively on the D-line, linebackers, and our defensive back. So it still was fun.
From a player watching, Gennaro Alfonson says, greetings, my bro, Don. Just passing that along from Gennaro. And I got to ask
What's up, my guy?
There you go. I got to ask you how much you were around John Jenkins. And for those that don't know, the older folks watching will know, if I say Porter Wagner, then I don't know if that means anything to you. He's an old country star back in the day from the United States, Don. He had the blonde wig on. Fans voted every week for what kind of pants he would wear. He had an American flag pants. He had like Zubaz leopard print pants. This guy is a football savant now. You know that. He knows the game.
Yeah.
What did you think of Coach John Jenkins?
Coach Jenkins was entertainment, man. He was everything that you say. He was must-see TV, man. I enjoyed the outfits as well as everyone else did. Man.
Okay, good. Well, I got stories. This wouldn't surprise you. There was one coach, he had a room with Jenkins on the road in the CFL, and he said he got to the room, opened it. Jenkins jumped out of bed. All he's wearing was his cowboy boots, watching TV.
Man, watch out.
You can see that.
I would believe it. I could see it, man. He's a character. It was something. He kept it fun, though, man. And Fan Control Football League and everything they did done, and with the entertainment aspect behind it, John Jenkins was the perfect guy for this job. He kept it fun. He'll do something new every single day. If you spoke to him, he always would keep a laugh or smile on your face.
And he taught the game well. I saw the behind-the-scenes video of you guys' meetings. That was the thing. Kids were soaking up what he was saying. Well, Don, I appreciate you telling us that you were involved, got me involved in the Fan Controlled League, and I love it. I just want to say all the best. And what's next for you? Just waiting for news on training camp?
Yeah, right now I'm just, going to get back to Dallas, get back to training, doing my thing. I try to stay away from all the social media stuff as far as the season going, because, it's so much from two different perspectives. Like, one is like we're having a season. The other side of it is no way we're having a season. So I focus on the motto, control what you can control, man. So I'm just going to wait, see what happens, and just be ready when the opportunity comes.
That's why you're so successful. President, thank you. Appreciate it. Stay safe, and hopefully we can chat soon. Good luck.
Hey, man, appreciate you.
You betcha. Don Unamba of the Ottawa Red Blacks joining us, and coach in the Fan-Controlled Football League. We'll talk about that and more when we come back. We'll talk about our poll question today. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
We're back and we're live across all 10 provinces and 31 states on Game Plus TV, and we got some heat. We got some heat today, so hang on. Just a sports update. Andrei Vasilevsky recorded his franchise record 12 straight win as the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Dallas Stars 2-1. Vasilevsky made 16 saves as the NHL leading Lightning won their 5th straight overall. Kevin Lankinen made 33 saves. Patrick Kane had 2 assists, and the Chicago Blackhawks stopped a 4-game slide by holding off the Florida Panthers for a 3-2 win. The NHL announced that the Montreal Canadiens have had their games through Sunday postponed. The league said the decision was made by the medical groups from the league, the NHL Players Association, and the Canadiens. It all has to do with the COVID outbreak at Centre Bell, or at least around the club. Also, the NHL announcing this morning, as casually as they can, that referee Tim Peel will no longer officiate games. Basically, we fired him for being caught on a hot mic last night admitting a makeup call in the Nashville-Detroit game. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hit a 2-run shot in the top of the first inning off Zach Wheeler, and the Toronto Blue Jays cruised to a 9-3 win over the Philadelphia Phillies Tuesday in grapefruit play. Infielder Santiago Espinal helped the Blue Jays with 2 hits and an RBI. And San Diego Padres star shortstop Fernando Tatis he was pulled from the game last night. due to a back strain. The Padres say Tatis will be reevaluated today. He signed the longest contract in baseball history last month, 14 years, $340 million. And now he's hurt. As is George Springer, as is half the Blue Jays roster.
Yeah.
But I digress. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. Look, we've had our take on Tim Peel being fired. I'm astounded at the National Hockey League for firing him for a thing that we've all known has been around in hockey for 100-plus years. And I see that everybody's watching today in the hockey and football crowd. The hockey people agree with me. The football people don't. And have you seen this from Troy Westwood?
No.
I love Troy Westwood. He's a brother. But he's a football guy. And he did tell me, I think, that he played junior A, and that's fine, but you're more football guy. And you know the football guys always said to me for 20 years, stick to hockey. I got to flip it and say, as a hockey guy, stick to football. Because Westwood says, love you guys, but you're dead wrong. An official's job is to enforce the rules of the game, not to manage it. A penalty or offense is either committed or it's not. Not supposed to be a Mickey Mouse interpretation of an official managing a game. As from Westy, we're going to have to vehemently disagree on this. And Glenn Erickson's a hockey guy. He writes for dubnetwork.ca out of Medicine Hat, and he covers Kelowna too. And he says, hey, Troy, I'm a big fan of your accomplishments as a player in the CFL. But regarding officials, don the stripes for a while. Be the guy. Then get back to us. And that's my thing just with hockey. I've played it. I've coached it. I've reffed it. Nobody has a problem with makeup calls. We all know that it's part of the game. How is the NHL firing this guy? Because you're afraid of that it might look to bettors that these games are fixed? They're not fixed. You've been betting on this game for 100 and how many years? They're not fixing the games.
They're not. Officials don't want one team to win or another team to lose. They don't. You know, sometimes they don't want to call a penalty when you bring down a player because that player made you look bad before by diving. Right? We've talked about that earlier. That happens. You know, managing the game, and that's why when the games when you get into the playoffs in the third period, you're not wanting 9, 10, 12 penalty calls a game. You want to manage the game, and that's why you look at, you know, a penalty is a penalty is a penalty. I get that, but we're not calling a penalty unless it's taking away a scoring chance or leading to a scoring chance, creating a chance, really becoming an unfair play. Right? If it's not affecting the game, don't call it. You know, in football, there's holding on every play. Well, call it. Well, no, the holding isn't affecting every play. If it's not affecting the play, then we don't need to call it.
Well, and I don't, but here's the thing. This is just a good debate with Westwood, and we'd be great on a show together talking about it. You know, Leo Ezrins writes in, our good friend, the executive director of the CFL Alumni Association, and he says single-game sports betting is coming with a crackdown on officiating and injury reports with it. Yeah, it's coming to Canada, but it's been in America for ages, as has hockey. So I think this isn't, I don't think, a football thing. You don't really hear of a makeup call in football. I don't really know. I've never officiated football. I never played football. But that's my point with hockey. We just know that the official's calling this penalty, it's a makeup call, and nobody argues it. You don't even argue it. Nobody was arguing the call last night with Tim Peel.
Right.
So that's my point. It hasn't marred the game. There's nothing wrong with the game. This is not fixing the game. And if you're going to bet on the amount of power plays, which I'm sure you probably could, you can bet on everything now.
Probably.
I wouldn't. I would put money down on the fact that the power plays are within 1 or 2 of each other because they always even up. At the end of I could go back and pull my score sheet out from last night, Winnipeg and Regina. I think they were 5 each. We don't have a problem with it. And the NHL should know this.
And the guy's in his last year.
That's the worst part.
He's in his last year. So
say that again, Clark.
Instead of suspending him or something, they fire him, and that's how he goes out after the long career that he had.
And in time, nobody will remember this. Tim Peel's got his 1,354 games. He's fine. From Elmer Jerkovitz, he's our officiating insider. because we haven't heard from Taylor Shire for a while.
Where's he on
our
all
director
of
officiating? He's too busy being an agent now. Elmer, what can we call him? Our VP of officiating?
Sure.
Longtime ref and umpire. He says, I agree here. One of our important sessions for umpiring baseball is game management. Call the game, but also manage it. Give officiating a try, and you will understand it very quickly. So more people want to talk about Tim Peel being fired by the NHL today than the CFL players being asked to take another pay cut, 20%. And I'm okay with that. You take over the discussion. It's very similar to fan-controlled football. And this has blown Jason and Red Deer's mind from the Puck and Pigskin podcast. He's still going back on the fan-controlled football. Do you guys have that? He's fired in a million questions here, and we got to go to a break, but it was something along the lines of, what? This is real players playing football, but the fans call the plays? Yes. And you should have been listening to me 6 weeks ago, because the season's over now. You missed it. So we got plenty coming up, plus the voice of the Pats, Phil Andrews, next hour. What a great show today.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking, we're Canada's #1 daytime sports talk show. We're also Canada's only daytime live sports talk show. And you're watching on Game Plus TV and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Curling report for Verge Agriculture time. It's down to 8 teams after starting with 35 duos at the Home Hardware Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship in Calgary. Lisa Weigel and John Epping topped Val Sweeting and Mark Kennedy 7-5 Tuesday in the opening draw of the qualifying round to set up a match against top-seeded Laura Walker and Kirk Myers, the only undefeated pairing remaining at the tournament after going 6-0 in pool play. In other qualifying round openers, Shannon Burchard and Caitlin Schneider down Emma Miskew and Ryan Fry 10-6. Kadriana Sahedek and Colton Lott beat Mackenzie Mitchell and Greg Smith 8-3. And Carrie Anderson and Brad Gushu got by Brittany Tran and Aaron Sluchinski 9-8. Sahedek and Lott will face number 2 seeds Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant. Anderson and Gushu get number 3 seeds Jennifer Jones and Brent Lang, while Burchard and Schneider are against number 4 seeds Danielle Schmeeman and John Morris, with every matchup scheduled for this morning. The winners will advance to the Page seeding round with the gold medal game on Thursday. The top 12 teams emerged from 5 pools to the playoffs on Tuesday, with the top 4 receiving first-round byes in the qualifying round, and the other 8 meeting head-to-head for a chance to move on. Our curling report is for Verge Agriculture, helping farmers plan and optimize their operations across every field. Try Verge's precision farm tech software free today at vergeag.com. And I can't wait, Darren, as you know, to be on Verge Ag's podcast this week. We're doing the interview tomorrow, and we'll be talking mental health and farming as the farm kid here. So that's cool.
That's cool.
So we have a hot button topic. Clark is so excited he's sweating that everybody is going off about this Tim Peel situation. We're all excited about it. NHL firing this referee. Well, we're not excited about that. That's dreadful. For admitting to making a makeup call. From Todd Pinkney, one of our P1s on Facebook, he says, you don't think pass interference calls in the NFL and CFL aren't getting made up for something that happened earlier in the game? I'm not sure that we're ever going to come to a consensus on this. Chris Bird in Toronto says, I think the NHL did the right thing. What refs do with respect to game management is unwritten and respected. By letting this slip, Tim Peel gave the league no choice. I wouldn't be surprised, however, if in reality this is an amicable settlement between the NHL and Peel. That's not the point. He was fired in front of everybody for doing nothing wrong. Turn the damn mic off. That's not his fault. What have I said a million times? Well, they have mics on curling, and they swear. They get away. Why do they get away with everything?
I know.
But football and hockey players and coaches, they shouldn't have to change the way they do their job just because there's a damn open mic around. They shouldn't have to. That's going to ruin the game. You want to talk about integrity? That's what's ruining the integrity of the game is these damn live mics. I'm sorry. It's how I feel.
Yeah. I don't know that I completely go along with that because I go by the nature of business that don't make decisions in business or in your workplace if you're not okay with it being on the front page of the newspaper.
You can make a makeup call, just don't say you're making a makeup call. Is that the point here?
No. But I say if you're making a makeup call, you're okay with letting the world know that it's a makeup call because the whole
Apparently
world knows.
You're not. He just got fired. No, not the whole world knows. They only know because there was a mic.
Clearly not. But we talked about knowing in hockey and being okay with it. The hockey people seem to, like, you know what I mean? We talk about coaches know that makeup calls happen, and we don't have a problem with it.
I'm astounded so many people don't understand what a makeup call is.
I know. So I don't think the refs have a problem.
Apparently not the whole world knows.
Yeah, like I don't think as a referee I have a problem.
Phil Andrews with us next hour. We'll talk about this and a lot of you people joining the discussion. Stick around after this break.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
No. The players are going to vote to play because guess what players do, Darren? They play. And they want to play. But in the end, the owners are going to kibosh it because it's going to cost them too much. So it's going to be on the owners. That's my prediction. We're going to get this baton really far in the relay race, and then it's going to be dropped near the finish line. That's my prediction on this.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
I'm still astounded. Stop the world. I want to get off.
I know.
It's bizarro world.
Isn't it?
As my brother said yesterday, it's like we're in a twilight zone, and that had nothing to do with what's happened today. That was something else. And who would have thought? By the way, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world, welcome to Hour 2 of the RP Show. This is what we call the second half kickoff. Coming up, the voice of the Regina Pats Hockey Club on radio, God's team, Phil Andrews. We got hung up on our first two topics of our Quick Six show topics today and never got to 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we won't. But who would have thought a referee being fired in Canada by the NHL would usurp the Canadian Football League owners asking their players to take a further 20% pay cut in order to play this year if there's no fans allowed? It's completely derailed the CFL discussion.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's fine. But I don't even have the news story here, but here's what's going on. Here's what's the latest, folks. And we are live coming to you here from the Sweatpants capital in Western Canada on this Wednesday, March 24th. The NHL fired referee Tim Peel this morning. He's reffed over 1,300 games because last night in the Detroit-Nashville game, he had left his mic on and he admitted to one of the players that he made a makeup call. How'd he get one on Nashville? NHL fired him today. Now, here's the thing. I got to defer to the Moose here. Man, we have the best team, by the way, in broadcasting. You do your thing, I do my thing. Those guys do their thing. Those people do their thing. We all work together and it wins.
Yeah.
So you were reading some little blog in the news break? Well, I ran out.
That's right.
I'm flabbergasted. That's why I said I can't believe what you were telling me that Paul Stewart has said about Tim Peel.
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
Paul Stewart wrote the article, the former referee.
Yeah.
One of the greatest, right? Around for a long time. And he basically backed the NHL and said he needed to be fired immediately because you can't fabricate a call, ever. You know, the integrity of officiating.
He didn't fabricate a call.
And my thought instantly is, and there's a whole long article on it, and you can Google it, I'm sure, and find it. The fabricate, like when a makeup call happens, or when you're trying to balance things out or manage the game, you're not making a call up. Like for me to you, saying that I slashed you. I'm like, I didn't even touch him. That's not happening. Okay? But what might happen is they're watching for the next time that I get close and my stick gets close to you or I wrap my arms around and it kind of looks like it could be a hold, even though I'm not really infracting you, but it's kind of happening. Ticky-tack. I'll call it. You go looking for something, waiting for something, anything that resembles a penalty. And then you call it.
You're not making it up.
You don't make it up and just blow your whistle when nobody's touching
And that's
each
what
other.
Paul Stewart's saying, and I'm astounded because I was a Paul Stewart fan. But this is driving me even further crazy. Travis Backman's watching from Pure Country FM. Great guy. I love Travis Backman. He says, Kerry Fraser nailed it. The firing of Peel is a joke, to say the least. Kerry Fraser said that? I remember watching a documentary where Kerry Fraser was interviewed, and he said, my officiating has never decided a game. I took my shoe off and threw it at the TV. I'm like, you're lying. You're lying. Don't tell me officiating has not dictated the outcomes in games for 100 years. So now Kerry Fraser comes out and supports Tim Peel? That shocks the hell out of me. I'm sorry to rant for Bronco Plumbing and Heating, but why is everybody lying? Can we just get to the truth here? You trying to tell me the makeup calls hasn't happened for 100 and however many years of NHL hockey? And you're going to fire this guy because the hot mic caught it? It's not his fault. That's what he said. We said it an hour ago. Those of us that have been in the game of hockey our entire lives not only know the makeup calls are a thing, we don't have a problem with it. Oh, we got a penalty, but it's just a makeup call.
Yeah, and the complete opposite. So put yourself in the playoffs, and you could talk to your referee, be like, look, he tripped him, but it didn't affect the play, so I didn't call it. And you're like, well, it's a penalty. You should have called it. Well, he knew that calling that penalty in overtime of the playoff game, a trip that didn't affect the game, could have led to a power play that ended up with a goal based on an accident. Doesn't affect the game. He doesn't call it. That's managing the game.
From our viewers, and bring it in. Bring in as much viewer comments if we can. From the Hockey Club, watching in Tallahassee, Florida, the Hockey Club podcast in Tallahassee. He says, football guys don't understand the importance of managing a hockey game. 60 nonstop minutes of action versus stop-and-go football with time to cool down. Refs temper violence. They absolutely do. And it's just, for years, I was told as the hockey guy working in football, stick to hockey. Now I finally get a chance to say, stick to football. Because this is the way the game's officiated. And I'm highly, highly disappointed in the National Hockey League that they would fire a guy, a 1,300-year veteran, over doing nothing wrong. His only thing, I guess, is saying that he made a makeup call. He shouldn't have admitted it to anybody. Just keep it inside. From Noogsy, the voice of the Hounds, he says, as a Leafs fan, I feel even more strongly about that, Rod. Kerry Fraser, give me a break. John Burns has dropped $5 to get his comment read. The only fans of sports talk here. He says, John Burns in Calgary, Game 6, 2004. The audio clip of the video review guys saying, we can let Martin Zelena get a 4th series-winning goal. I'm sure it's somewhere. Yeah, I don't even know what that means. I'm trying to go through this. I'm sorry, the comments are coming in so crazy. I got to get caught up here. Troy Westwood, we got to give him equal time. Westy watching in Winnipeg Live, he says there are aspects of the game that officials will manage. The rules are not one of those aspects. The players, through their skill, effort, and decision-making, determine the outcome, not an official managing the rules. It must be nice to live in a world of sunshine, rainbows, pixie dust, and unicorn pee.
I know.
It's not the way it is. It's not the way it is.
We'll say to Troy's comment, though, he's right in that comment, I think. Players determine the outcome, not an official managing the rules determining the outcome. But that officials, trying to manage the game so that the players determine the outcome. Just keep it fair. Keep it
right
even.
to the end.
Don't let it get out of control.
Robin, watching in Prince Albert, the gateway to the north, says Bronco Plumbing and Heating getting a lot of plugs today. Keep it up, Rod. Love it. I'm just astounded. Your authorized Bryant Furnace dealer. You were on a Zoom call this morning. You missed our very important pre-show meeting.
I know.
You missed the whole thing. I said to Clark, I've really realized something the last 2 years since I stepped out of the machine, the full-time machine of the pro sports world, how much people don't understand. I lived in a vacuum for 46 years of my life in it. When I got out of it, I'm like, people don't understand what goes on in the vacuum. Is it our job to tell them or not? I don't know. I'm lost. To think that the players decide it. No, yes, in fantasy, yes. In the fantasy world, I don't mean fantasy football. It would be nice that the players decided it. Darren, didn't you say in the break, in the perfect world, we wouldn't even need refs?
That's the idea, right? The refs are there to let them play. And the games where there's no penalties called are the best games ever. And we know there's infractions here and there, but they don't affect the game. The trip doesn't affect the game. So we let them go. And in football, the less flags, the better. There's holding and there's different things on every play. But if it's not affecting the play, creating an advantage, taking an advantage away, if it's not cheating, then it doesn't need to be called. That's what I mean by managing the game, right? Deciding what's warranted of a call, right? And what's not. And we do this in every aspect of life. You do it disciplining your kids and setting rules on curfews. You do it, police do it with the law, right? With all the time, right? When we issue warnings for being 2 kilometers an hour over the speed limit.
Yeah.
You understand the situation, but it's in a school zone, so we hammer down because that's danger. You know what I mean? You have to be able to apply these things.
And now, Jason in Red Deer. Calls have never decided the outcome of a game. Remember the Sharks versus Knights? Knights up by 3, I think, and got a 5-minute major because of a stupid call and cost them 3 goals during that power play. They lost the game. Don't tell me. That's why I threw my shoe at the television when Kerry Fraser said his officiating's never decided a game. You've reffed over 1,000 games. You never have. You're lying to me. Stop lying to me. And as long as people continue to lie in leadership, enforcement positions, I have less and less faith in the integrity of the world, sports or otherwise. Doug McKell watching, football coach, as you know, from Indian Head. Mm-hmm. Unless you can find something other than a human to be a referee, you have to let the referee be human. We say it all the time. This is great, great, great. Perfect segue to the CFL, by the way. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says in Calgary, I remember referee Danny Davis cost the British Bulldogs the WWF Tag Team title in 1986. Just saying.
Yes.
What are you saying? It's fixed. Listen, can we just delve to the CFL for a second?
Yes.
And this is scary for the CFL, that a referee being fired has been a hotter topic on what we'd like to believe is a CFL show than the news from Dave Naylor last night on TSN that the owners in the CFL have proposed a 20% pay cut to the players in the event they have to start the season on time, but with no fans. Do I need to go back and say what the agent texted me? I can paraphrase it. He said they've already taken one pay cut. You add this second pay cut, there will be guys that will be taking a 30 to 40% pay cut just to play this year. And on the heels of this, Clark has just informed me that Delvin Breaux has announced his retirement from professional football. One of the biggest stars in the Canadian Football League, and a great guy, and the kind of person that you want in the Canadian Football League, just said, I've weighed I can't. And what did I say an hour ago? I don't like this at all. I'd like to see the CFL go out and sell more sponsorships, raise more money. That's what I'd like to see. But that's not the way the guys running the CFL look at it. It's cut, and we'll have a little extra money here from the TV deal that we can get things going, and that will allow us to play games to enable single-game betting, and all of a sudden we're going to be rich again, and we're going to save all this, and we don't need the XFL. That's my read on it. And the sucky thing for the players is that they got to make a decision. And that decision is, can I play for this or can I not? And Delvin Breaux, or will I play for this or will I not? And Delvin Breaux said, no, I won't. And I know exactly where they're coming from. I laugh at the people that don't understand how we got started with what we're doing here. I could have gone and worked at some radio station anywhere in this country, but I would have uproot and move and work for this, and I don't want to. No. So we're going to do this. These players are looking at the same thing. Is it worth it to me to uproot my family, move to another country, barely be able to pay to live? For what? Delvin Breaux's already been to the NFL. What's he got to prove? Right? I can see the young kids.
That's right.
I can see the young kids doing it. Or play in the fan-controlled football league, because we had a wonderful discussion an hour ago with Don Unamba of the Ottawa Redblacks, who said guys played in that league, the fan-controlled football league, because they just wanted to play the game. And actually, I was just reading in the last 24 hours, those guys got $300 to $500 a week cash in their pocket to play in the fan-controlled football league. I know it's not much, but to weigh the risks to come to Canada if you're an American, what you're going to be out with taxes and costs and expenses, you could see how that would be a very viable option for a young American football player, right? And this is a topic, you know what, we'll debate it deep on Friday with John Frenzy, whereby maybe the Canadian Football League becomes 85% Canadian. There is that thought. It used to be that. Up until late 60s, mid to late 60s and into the 70s. It used to be that. And it paid very well. Paid more than the National Football League, kids. It's a true story. The question is, could they sell it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Would enough Canadians watch it and buy tickets for it to be viable? That's the $64,000 question. So anyways, I've yapped enough. We got about a minute and a half before we bring on Phil the Thrill. Your take on the CFL pay cut proposal? Because the players are going to take it. You know they're going to take it.
There's enough players. And there's enough players that aren't in the Canadian Football League that would love to play. You know, college players who never got an opportunity to play pro, who just need a chance on a pro roster, don't have the greatest tape, but all of a sudden they get that opportunity, they'll play. There's enough, U Sports players to play. That's not going to, unfortunately, that's not going to be an issue. It's a matter of how much are they willing to let the overall product drop to still play. That'll be the question. But to me, it was positive and exciting to hear that there was a plan. Because we all just hope there's a plan, but we never actually hear it, and we never hear, are they actually thinking about playing on time? They say they want to start on time, but we don't really believe them because we haven't heard anything. Well, now we know that they've actually tabled a proposal, and they actually have an option. And if they say no, then at least we knew that was the option to play on time, and now we know that we're waiting until they let us put fans in the stands. Right? If the players say no, then we'll know that the next option is for the CFL to wait for fans in the stands. So to me, it was optimism, when I first heard it, but I feel so bad for the players. I feel so bad for the players because those veterans who are taking the biggest dollar figure in cuts, 20%, the more you make, it's a bigger cut. Those are the guys I feel bad for because they got decisions to make.
One day people are going to look back and go, Rod was right. I said this league's going to be unrecognizable by the time it comes back, and today is more proof of that. Just a couple quick text messages from Todd in Langenberg says, does it change anything if Peel was the one who left his own mic on? From the Prairie Mobile text line. So what? He exposed this dirty little secret that's actually true because he was caught on a live mic? Why should he be fired? But I guess it happens. Jim Wagner. Morning, boys. We are not going off the rails. We are completely off the rails on this crazy train. Have a great day, all. Regarding officiating, Devin in Regina says WWF referee Earl Hebner had more controversies, i.e. Bret Hart, Montreal screw job. Please, let's not compare the NHL to the WWF. Can we stop with the comparisons? And from Metal Shingle Guy, he says, so the cap went down 20%. How do the Argos get there? The cap hasn't gone down at all. You have to understand the cap is at $5.3 million. That's not gone down. They have arbitrarily asked the players to voluntarily take pay cuts of 20% on top of the original 20%. The cap's still there. When TSN starts paying them their TV money, they're still going to get this amount of money. The difference is the wiggle room between what they're paying the players and what they're getting from TSN. That's where the money's coming from. I wondered where they were going to get the money. Now we know. Off the players' backs. We'll be back. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, live on YouTube and Facebook. And listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150, Explorer, or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Pedersen Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait, do it right now. Oh, yeah? Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I had to change my Rockstar Supply Chain's bunny hug. I was killing me under these lights. But anyways, we love their sponsorship. That's why I was wearing it. Couple things. We're clearly not going to reach a consensus here. Troy Westwood and I having a bit of a battle. It would be nice if we were on the same show together. I understand the concept of makeup calls. Been around forever. Don't even have a problem with it. Why are you firing somebody? And Westwood says, what do you mean makeup call? That's almost like he's shocked that was a thing in hockey. And before we bring in Phil Andrews, the voice of the Regina Pats, Doug McKell, I mentioned that football coach of the Broncos, writing in. He says, hey, Roddy, can you pass on condolences to Phil? He's married to Scoop McCabe's granddaughter. And let's bring in Dr. Phil, the voice of the Pats. Philzy, Scoop passing away. What a gem of a man. In 2003, he inducted myself and Scruffy into the Rural Sports Hall of Fame. And at that time, I didn't realize how big of a deal that was. This is a guy that ran this Rural Sports Hall of Fame and Museum in Indian Head, Saskatchewan. Just a fantastic guy. We lost a great one. You knew him very well.
Yeah, 26 years. He ran that sports hall in Indian Head. And you know, for a little small place, the things that he had in that hall that he had collected in his lifetime, and just, you know, his time spent, you know, roaming the sidelines at Mosaic Stadium and taking pictures for the Indian Head newspaper. You know, it was an incredible place and something that he was very proud of. And, you know, he's left a great legacy, I think, in this province. And you know, I was very lucky to be able to meet him and, you know, see him on holidays and Christmas and that type of thing. And in my time, you know, being married, you know, now almost 12 years with my wife. So, I mean, to get to know him and like I said, a great legacy. He's part of the fabric of sport in this province. I had a real good passion for, you know, especially, you know, the young youth and you know, the people that, you know, that sport can impact in a positive way. I think he was an incredible human being and definitely will be missed. Yeah,
I love him.
He's a great man.
Yeah, the whole family. No shock you married into it. Great people, and his Hall of Fame was as good or better than the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. I'm not joking. Somebody's told me since he's been sick, it's fallen off what it was, and we just don't have enough people like that in this country anymore fighting for what's important. But anyways, thanks, Doug, for the reminder, and my condolences to your family, Phil, on the passing of Ken Scoop McCabe. Great guy. Now, before we talk about the Pats and the ice, I told the boys around here that you would have a different opinion than me. You and I don't see things the same. Clearly. On the makeup call, does Tim Peel deserve to be fired for being caught on a hot mic admitting a makeup call last night in the Detroit-Nashville game?
I don't know. Like, I think it's one of those things that goes unsaid. You know, like anybody that's watched hockey for a long time knows it happens on a very regular basis. You know what I mean? Like, you see it all the time. The fact that he said it, I wouldn't fire him. I'll say that. I mean, I'd reprimand him, like, what the heck you doing? Like, you know, but it's a mistake, right? Like, I don't know. Like, it happens. It's a part of hockey. And the fact that he actually said it, people know for sure that it's real, I guess, is something that the NHL won't like. But I mean, it's unfortunate that he said it and people know about it, but it's a real thing. So I mean, if you're selling the truth, I'd have a hard time firing somebody about that.
I know, and I'm very disappointed in Paul Stewart coming out and saying the NHL did the right thing. Oh, did you ever make a makeup call, Paul? That's what I'd like to know, because every single ref does it probably almost every single game. So it's
part of the game. I mean, like, you see it all the time. Like, you know, if you're a team that's had 3 power plays to start the game, that you're going to be on the penalty kill next. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. It's just the refs manage the game. It's a part of it. It's how it goes. So yeah.
And on the single betting thing, people are writing in saying, "Oh, with betting, huge. We can't have people know that there's makeup calls." Well, I look at it and say, "Well, now you know." Because we're not going to, go back and change the way the game's been ref for 100 years. So it's a fascinating discussion. It's a fascinating discussion. And maybe we'll come back around on... Yeah, because viewer comments here, but Philzy, this is your time. You scheduled this for us. So, Pats and Ice last night. We have a lot of Winnipeg viewers and listeners. As you know, the Winnipeg Ice thumped the Pats 8-3, but the Pats outshot them. I think it was 35-33. I thought it was a weird game.
It was so weird, man. I mean, the Pats looked awful to start. I mean, that first 15 minutes of the game was not good. And then, Massier scores and they kind of get a spark, and then they start the second and they look like, world beaters for 15 minutes. I mean, outshoot them 11-2 and then bang, 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 the Ice score 3 times in just under 4 minutes, and the game's over, right? It's kind of been, last night's a bit of a microcosm, I think, of the Pats season, just kind of magnified. I think, you've seen every game, Rod. There have been times where they look very good, and then there's times where it kind of snowballs on them. And, it happened against Saskatoon where they tie it in the third, and then, next thing you know, it's 2 minutes later and they're down 6-3, right? And so there have been some really good things for this team, and then times where, it's gone the other way. And last night was definitely that way against a really good Winnipeg team.
Well, I think we all know what the issue is, but we're not saying it. It's the elephant in the room, and that's that. Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg says the ice top line looked amazing with Krebs and McLennan. Pats D just didn't have an answer for them. It was a very young blue line dressed by the Pats last night, and that's certainly part of it. Philzy, before we move on and just talk about the whole league, Connor Bedard, your thoughts on this whole thing?
Man, I feel like I sound like a fan. And I am I love the Pats and I bleed blue. There's no doubt. But everybody that I talk to, that's what they want to talk about, right? And rightfully so. But you kind of run out of superlatives to just describe how incredible he is. Last night was it wasn't as maybe noticeable as he has been in the previous 5 games, but. It's so hard to remember every night that he's only 15 years old, right? And he's the Pats' best player. You've been around the league a long time and seen a lot of great players. And I've been doing this for, now 10 seasons, and I've seen some really good Pats that, ended up top 10 in franchise scoring. But nobody has even been close to his level at that age. And we're talking about, Sam Still being a first-round pick, and, Adam Brooks, 250 points in his last 2 years, some really good players. We're witnessing something special, right? And I just wish that there were people in the building to be able to see it, because he deserves to have, 6,000 people in that Brandt Center, cheering him on every night, because he's special. There's no doubt. I think that's the best way to put it.
That's the crime, of course. But at least you guys are playing. And I will say this. I've seen players as good, but not at 15. That's the point. You know what I mean? Eberle was great at 17. Pretty good at 16, but he wasn't doing 2 points a game or having 6-game point streaks. So that's the difference. He's as good as those older guys, but he's doing it at 15. And the question becomes, how good is he going to get? And that's the exciting thing by the time they're able to swing open the doors and move in. I'll say this too, Phil. I was on the Outsiders podcast in Edmonton Monday. Bryn Griffiths says, what's going on in the Dub? We have a team in Edmonton. We don't hear anything about it. James Patrick of the Winnipeg Ice tells me, we got a great product, but we're in a crowded hockey Winnipeg market. We need to get the word out. So let's get the word out and talk about the Dub, Phil, because the games have been amazing in the Hub Center.
Man, and I think a little bit surprisingly so, just how, good it's gotten off to. It was kind of, you go into the season and, a real short training camp where teams only have 4 days of practice. There's no preseason. And then, we jump in at opening night and, the Pats and Raiders played an incredible hockey game, and it's just continued, and you look around the teams in this East Division and the talent that's there. Everybody's got a great top line. And then you look at, the young guys that are coming up. Brandon's just stocked with, first-round picks that are, in their 16 and 17-year-old seasons. You look at Winnipeg last night, obviously with Krebs and McLennan, but that's Zach Benson that they drafted in the first round. He had a 3-point night last night. And they're not even with Carson Lambos, who got hurt, a guy that's going to probably be a first-round NHL pick. There are so many good players in this division, and it's been incredible to watch. There's no doubt. It is a great product, and they have gotten up to a flying start. I feel very blessed to be able to be in the rink to watch it. I'll say that.
It is a privilege. Absolutely no doubt to be in there, and I treat it that way each and every game. Okay. Something different, Phil. I've known you a long time. You're one of the biggest Blue Jays fans I know. So for the benefit of the Jays fans and baseball fans across this country, apparently they're winning today. From what I understand, they are facing the Yankees, or at least that's the last report I got. Are you getting worried about all these injuries in spring training as we get close to Game 1?
Yeah, there's definitely some worry. Nate Pearson, a guy that, everyone's real high on as a starting pitcher for this team and what he's dealt with, going back even before the latest kind of rash of injuries. And then obviously George Springer with the oblique, that's concerning because he's a guy that's going to be so massive offensively for this club. There's concern on the injury front, I think. But at the same time, while the Blue Jays are going to be good, my expectations, I think, were a little tampered in terms of, there's no expanded playoffs this year like there were last year. Like they wouldn't have been a playoff team in a normal year other than, the pandemic and, having that extra spots. So, they're in that tough AL East, man. And so, if they get off to a slow start, it's going to be tough to claw back. But at the same time, they're a really good team. They've got depth there with those young guys. And if they can get some pitching, which I think they've done some things to add to that group for the start of the year that, that they can maybe challenge and be a team that, is playing meaningful baseball once you get to, July and August, which is what I think everybody hopes, and maybe we're able to squeak into a wild card spot in the AL East. But yeah, it's exciting that we're talking about it. That's what I'll say, because, last year you didn't know if baseball was going to start. And, I love being able to sit down and watch the Blue Jays, 100 plus times a year. And so it's exciting times.
Absolutely. No doubt. Phil, a wonderful hockey chat with you. We'll see you in the arena. Thanks for the time.
See you tomorrow, pal.
The great Phil Andrews joining us on video chat here today. We got a lot to get to. I got to tell you, I just love this daytime sports talk because there's so much is going down. There's breaking news today. Delvin Breaux of the Hamilton Tiger Cats announcing his retirement today. Watching us live on YouTube right now is a Ticats fan, goes by the handle CD on YouTube. And CD writes, as a Tiger Cat fan from the USA, it hurts to see Delvin Breaux retire, but I totally understand it. I'm a huge CFL fan, and I want to see it survive, but cutting player salaries isn't going to do it. I agree. I don't like the way it's going either. But there's no doubt the way the owners look at it and the top executives is we'll just build new stars. We'll get guys in that want to play for this wage, and they'll become the stars. And in the case of Delvin Breaux, I believe he's got kids, been in the NFL, very accomplished guy. He's got to move on. He can't play for these terms. And so I actually see both sides. It sucks for the players. It sucks to be a under contract CFL player right now. Sucks to be an owner of a CFL team right now, too. And this is the way that they've found to get onto the field this year, and it's looking like it might actually happen. That's the good news. Which reminds me, our poll question today is, given the latest news, do you feel there will be a CFL season? Our daily poll question is brought to you by Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center. We'll talk about that and more when we come back. I got a huge sports update, too, today. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk streaming for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Okay, welcome back. I just said to producer Clark, who came out of his cage here on the break, I said we could just read viewer comments until the end of the show because they're so hot. And they're coming in from all across the nation. This NHL firing of Tim Peel, which I'll get to in a minute in the sports update, is what everybody's talking about ahead of the CFL stuff. Cam on Vancouver Island, watching on Game Plus TV, says, this decision made by the NHL is just another spineless reaction to the fear of the cancel culture environment that the world has become. Hyperinflated virtue has caused people to overreact in every walk of life. This is ridiculous. From Dave Peters, says hockey officiating is built on the makeup call. The NHL is choked that it was finally exposed. Like, there's a lot of bad things about hockey, there's no doubt. The makeup call isn't one of them. If you want to start fixing things in hockey, don't worry about the makeup call. Nobody has a problem with it in hockey. And here's what I'm talking about. I'll get to more of your comments in a moment, but Tim Peel's career as an NHL referee is over after his voice was picked up by a TV microphone saying he wanted to call a penalty against the Nashville Predators. The league today announced that Peel, quote, no longer will be working NHL games now or in the future. The 54-year-old Peel had already made plans to retire next month. By the way, just to reinforce what Cam's saying, how spineless is that news release? He'll no longer be working NHL games now or in the future. How about saying we fired his ass? And here's why. NHL Vice President of Hockey Operations Colin Campbell said in a statement, Tim Peel's conduct is in direct contradiction to the adherence to that cornerstone principle that we demand from our officials and that of our fans, players, coaches, and all those associated with our game expect and deserve. There is no justification for his comments, no matter the context or intention. Come on, Colin. The NHL determined it was Peel's voice that was heard on the TV broadcast of the Predators' home game against the Detroit Red Wings after Nashville forward Victor Arvidsson was issued a minor tripping penalty 5 minutes into the second period. So if you guys want to go down this rabbit hole, let me ask you this. Are you going to eliminate all further makeup calls from the game from now moving forward to the end of time? Because that's what you're going to have to do. Because those of us that know, and I thought everybody knew, we're in Canada after all, are going to point out what a makeup call is. This is a corner that you've painted yourself in. Moving on, Jesse Ylonen had 2 goals and an assist as the Laval Rocket beat the Stockton Heat 4-2 Tuesday night. In American Hockey League play, Otto Leskinen added a goal and an assist to help Laval extend its win streak to 6 games. Jake Lucchini also scored for the Rocket, while Caden Primo made 24 saves for the win. Louis Domingue stopped 30 of 34 shots for Stockton. I loved when he played for the Arizona Coyotes. Going to those games in Glendale, and they would play Louis, Louis. Louis. Now he's in the Apple. Zachary Roy scored the shootout winner as the Blainville Boisbriand Armada down the Gatineau Olympique 4-3 on Tuesday in Quebec Major Junior League bubble play. Connor Fredette had 2 goals and a helper. Benjamin Tardif scored once and set up 2 more. And Victoriaville jumped out to a 7-goal lead on its way to a 9-1 win over the Rimouski Oceanic. Samuel Richard stopped 41 of 45 shots through regulation and overtime. And William Rollo scored the winner as Ruan Noranda used a shootout to edge the Rempart 5-4. Vancouver Canucks coach Travis Green is hopeful some of his ailing centers could be back in the lineup tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. The Canucks have been hit hard by injuries in recent weeks, including captain Bo Horvat, who hobbled off the ice after taking a slap shot to the foot in Monday's 4-0 loss to the Jets. Horvat and fellow center Brandon Sutter are both day-to-day and have a chance to return to the lineup tonight. The Calgary Flames will try and avoid back-to-back losses in the nation's capital as they take on the Ottawa Senators tonight. Philip Gustafsson earned his first NHL win on Monday, a 2-1 decision against the Flames. Calgary now 4-3 under new head coach Darryl Sutter. Meanwhile, the Oilers-Canadiens game tonight in Montreal postponed due to COVID-19. Blue Jays in Tampa, Florida. We got an update on that, anybody? Last we heard the Jays were leading 1-0 over the Yankees. They spanked the Phillies 9-3 yesterday. Jays 13-8-1 in spring training. And 1-0 bottom of the first, Clark tells me. Thank you. The Raptors are in Tampa, Florida tonight, hosting the Denver Nuggets and hoping to avoid a double-digit losing streak. The Raptors have lost 9 in a row heading into their matchup against the Nuggets. It's also Toronto's last game before the trade deadline. By the way, we have the new intern here, Rachel Bishop, and she has penned a wonderful blog at our website, rodpedersen.com, on why the Raptors should trade Kyle Lowry. I say they should not. You got to go read it. Rachel's a good one. We're proud to have her. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. That's the thing. I got these people in such markets as Edmonton and Winnipeg saying, we have a team in our town. Nobody covers it. What's going on? Well, it's very easy for us because we absolutely love the Western Hockey League with every fiber of our being, every cell of our body. So we'll give you the coverage. And if you don't get enough here, go to dubnetwork.ca. It's the best. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha, RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. I also have to say, by the way, for the CFL fans, you need to get more vocal. The Happy Gilmore thing. Can we make a little noise here? Because here today you're getting trampled by hockey fans who want to talk about Tim Peel getting fired by the National Hockey League for being caught on a mic admitting a makeup call. Now, I didn't see the highlight of it, and I only watched a portion of SportsCenter this morning, so I'm not sure if they covered it. But I'm going to tell you something. If it wasn't the mic that the refs wear to announce the penalties, and excuse my ignorance because I don't know. Like, if he left that mic on, there might be a little bit of culpability there. But if it's one of those mics that's just situated on top of the glass at the penalty box and that caught him saying it, It's even worse that he got fired. That's what it was? How can anybody in good conscience say this man should be fired for officiating the game that everybody else has? And for Paul Stewart to come out and say that he's never called a makeup call in his entire career? This disgusts me. You're lying to us. You're lying. Or come on here, please, and say that you never made a makeup call in your life. But that's my point. If you have passionate thoughts on the CFL proposing a 20% pay cut to its players, you got to speak up on that. Because the hockey people are trampling you again. Metal Shingle Guy writes in regarding the pay cut proposed to the players. He says the players will be the ones to blame when they don't play. Who's going to bet on the replacement players from CFL Global 2.0? You know, and I love the Canadian Football League, too. Not as much as the Western Hockey League, but I love the Canadian Football League. And I am actually chomping at the bit to have this discussion about a predominantly Canadian league. Not what it is now, but going back to the 85% Canadian players. Hey, I would love it. It's working for the CEBL. It's working for the Canadian Premier League. Would it work for the Canadian Football League? That's the question now. Great article by Rob Vanstone in the Leader Post yesterday, the Regina Leader Post, saying that this is what they need to do. Go to a more Canadian league and less Americans. Tim McAuliffe's voice is echoing in my ear from Tim and Friends at Sportsnet, where he said it might be too late. I'm just not sure you can sell it anymore to the Canadian public because you're getting trampled in your own backyard by the NFL, and you let it happen. Wayne in Victoria says, I have to mention that this show is not just good entertainment, but you also stay away from politics and mixing sports and politics to a great degree. It's been hard with what happened this pandemic, but you've done a good job on that. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Wayne in Victoria. Much appreciated. We will bring Dupes in next for overtime. Hang on, and a lot of your comments and viewer takeover. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network. Across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
And we found Moose DuPont. Not Mouse DuPont, Moose DuPont here. What a fantastic show. The guys were saying that Tim Peel is trending on Twitter, and that doesn't surprise me, the fired referee in the NHL. It's a shame, and I just wonder if the NHL is going to get away with this or if people will hold their feet to the fire. By the way, Theron Fleury is texting me a storm on the SJHL being canceled, and there's a lot of swears in here. He just said, they're trying to kill us. Those canceling sports.
Yeah.
Is my point. Viewer takeover, as we say, where the heck is it? Oh, Chris Robinson's watching. He says, now, as for mixed doubles curling, hard to wrap your head around at first, but the dynamic of these teams playing with so many rocks in play has been entertaining to watch. Need more of this. Shout out for the mixed curling championships, the nationals in Calgary. I got into this in the Olympics. I'm like, this is exciting. It's not just standing around talking.
No, it's cool.
You know, it's good. There's just a lot of things going on in sports right now that have taken my attention more. Our boy J-Rod's watching. You know J-Rod?
Yeah.
Just before face-off last night in the Pats at Winnipeg Ice, he texts me and says, I'm going to bed, Rod. Good night. I'm like, J-Rod, we're just about to drop the puck. These late 8 o'clock starts are just not meshing well with people.
Not cutting it, no.
And as J-Rod has written in here, he says, I watched the Pats game, 2 goals right away, then I fell asleep, just like the Riders. Make you fall asleep. It was over very early last night, the Winnipeg Ice game. That sucks.
Yes.
What do you folks want us to talk about? I've been doing a lot of talking here.
One thing.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, one thing I've been thinking about this with the officials and calling the rule book and everything else. And that's where we're going is, you know, you don't want to fight, so just forget about it. We're just going to call the rules, and that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
Remember when in the CFL when we had challenges and the coaches could challenge because we thought there was pass interference here, but in that challenge, you could look at every player on the field and find the penalties. So it was, you could look at every offensive lineman for holding, you could look at the backside, you know, for pass interference, you could look at anything. And it totally took away from the integrity of the game. You know, when a coach could just blindly challenge and hope there was a penalty on the play. Well, all of those things, if robots and computers and, you know, the rule book starts getting enforced to the letter of the law, that stuff will be getting called all of the time.
Some guy wrote in here, and I can't remember his name, but it was a mic drop comment to Troy Westwood about how the rules need to be enforced and let the players decide. And the guy said, that saying that you could call holding on every play in football is true. So don't say that game managing doesn't go on in football either. It's a misnomer. And what you missed when you were in there doing your thing and I was out here doing mine is I said, what's going to happen now, NHL? I think this is an incredibly short-sighted decision. I'd love to know who made it. I'd like to think it's not Colin Campbell to fire Tim Peel over this. Because I broadcast, I was thinking about it the other night, over 1,400 hockey games. That's a lot. We would say on the air, that's a makeup call. You know it. So what happens now moving forward, Darren, when we all know it's a makeup call, but a ref got fired for admitting it was a makeup call? What's going to happen now?
I know.
Are the broadcasters not allowed to say it?
I know. It's such a... I don't know. And I can only imagine being the officials now, right, in the National Hockey League. What do we do?
Yes!
You know, let's make sure we tattoo on the inside of our wrists. Turn the mic off.
But it wasn't... No. This is what's new, though, and Clark was telling me. It wasn't the mic that they wear.
Oh.
It was a mic on the top of the glass. And I've said it.
Don't talk out loud.
Don't talk!
Like, I don't know. The referees are... What do we do now? Well, make sure for the next 6 weeks we just call the rules. Forget about managing things. Let's just call the rules. People are going to be mad because the games aren't going to be managed the same way. But call the rules, let this die down, and then we'll see where it goes.
It's a really good thing that we save football for Friday. Because can we wait 48 hours for the football discussion? For instance, because listen, I want the CFL to play, okay? We all do. I think our numbers would shoot up exponentially if the CFL played this year. So I'm praying that they play. Jeff, the Stamps fan, writes in and says, where is Cody Fajardo? No one has seen him in your parts for ages. Well, who cares? He doesn't live here. It's not a big deal. I was never a big guy on players having to live here in the offseason. I know a lot of people were. My thing is just win. I don't care where you live for 6 months in the offseason. They're not playing football, Jeff, the Stamps fan. So the guy's in Nevada. A guy wrote me from Edmonton. His name's Buzzle. And he said he did this graph on interest, Google interest searches for the NFL, CFL, and XFL in the last 18 months. In 2020, CFL just flatlined. XFL spiked. I guess because they were playing, right, for a period of 5 weeks.
Yep.
And then the NFL was high where it is. And that's why I've been saying forever, you need to stay relevant. You need to stay in the public eye. But nobody agrees with me on that. They never wanted to agree with me on that. But I do want to discuss how the next CFL will look, because this Ticats fan wrote in and said, I'm a fan of the CFL because my good friend from Highland Community College teammate from Calgary, Keon Raymond, played. Losing American players would kill the CFL. We're in a massive tug-of-war of what this league needs. Massive. And I don't think anybody's going to completely agree on how it's going to be fixed.
That's right.
And that's the scariest thing for the CFL. Tomorrow, Dave Poulin, Les Lazaruk, and SJ President Bill Chow. Thanks to our guests today. We'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern and 10 a.m. Mountain right here on Game Plus. Truth's in the coffee. It's Truth Serum.